Hello, I'm Perry Klaus, the Community Redevelopment Agency Manager for unincorporated Polk County. We have 4 CRAs within unincorporated Polk County, and they are the Hardin Parkway CRA, the Eloise CRA, the Northridge CRA, and Polk Commerce CRA.
We had some recent involvement for a number of years. Polk Nursery Company, in fact, they were in business for something like 75 years. And when the owner decided that time had come for him to retire and place the property on the market.
Ken decided after 50 plus years that he was tired. He wanted to spend some time with his bride and stay at home. So he put the property on the market for sale in 11 different parcels. And it's a total of 260 acres. So the Knapp family had been looking for a place to grow blueberries. They wanted about 20 acres.
So to move the property in the most expeditious manner, we brought in Marty Higginbotham, the auctioneer from Lakeland, and worked with Marty to break the property into various parcels and began the process of creating exposure for the purposes of having an auction.
So we get to the auction. The auction terms are explained very thoroughly. Marty said, I'm here representing that gentleman in the back, which is the seller, and I'm going to do the best job that I can. So I'm going to do an auction where we sell it individually, and then I'm going to caucus for about 15 minutes, let everybody regroup, decide where they're at, and if you want to try to assemble more, you'll have the opportunity to basically knock your neighbor out of the box by overbidding what they had bid. So we went through the process. I think we were the 5th bidder, and we were the first bidder to take multiple parcels. And the first piece that we took consisted of between 80 and 90 acres. It was parcels 1, 2, and 3.
So they came to buy 20 acres. They did their homework. They, the impressive infrastructure here, the water wells, the soils, the drainage, the access, and the location right here at the interchange of Old Dixie Highway and Polk Parkway.
Now, with that said, let me say this: a gentleman named Perry Klaus stood up at the meeting and explained the CRA. He explained, what the county's involvement was, and really opened up some opportunities that we didn't know existed, even with some of the investigation work that we had done prior to the sale date.
The auctioneer asked me to get up and give a little talk about what the potential for the Polk Commerce Center CRA was. We're talking 3,000 acres, and specifically this 260 or so acres. So I got up and gave him a little talk and a quick overview. And as an economic developer, the vision that we have in economic development was a little bit more than 20 acres of blueberries. So we were looking far down the road, about 3,000 acres for a sustainable live, work, play, and shop community.
That had a huge impact on our caucus of the family group when we made the decision to go for the whole property. And we felt like if the county could do what they were saying they could do in the CRA, and our vision might match their vision, if we could get a purchase agreement that gave us a little bit of investigation time so that we could sit down with Perry and the CRA group, that this is something that we could do.
As a result of the auction, we were very glad to see some local folks in Auburndale who had a strong interest in the property, the Knapp family, and they have just done a magnificent job of removing the ornamental aspects of the property.
So our initial concentration was on the farming side. We knew we wanted to farm a crop that look good both now, midterm, and out in the future. So we picked a superfood, which was blueberries. And we went through the well use transfer permits. We were able to keep a significant or almost all of the capacities that were formerly here for the nursery property. And we made a substantial investment in cleaning and clearing off the ornamental nursery operations and converting it over to new irrigation, new state-of-the-art watering techniques, from the emitters, drip polytubing, to weather stations, automatic start stops for multiple purposes, from cold protection to just ensuring that you weren't wasting water. And today, which is mid 2013, we have planted nearly 100 acres. By the end of this summer, we will have 100 acres in blueberries.
But now the blueberries farming has taken on a new facet, and that we recently had a grand opening for a ribbon cutting for a large packing house, which will have international exposure.
The next part of the vision, which would be our phase 2, would be the retail mixed use area, which is the southern part of the property. As I mentioned earlier, we're adjacent to the Polk Parkway. We have both the northeast and northwest corners on the interchange. And in our discussions with the CRA director for Polk County, and then subsequent meetings with the county, particularly the transportation department, we've seen a vision that we agree with from the southern part of our property all the way through our property, and then going north through the Lake Myrtle Sports Park, continuing north of the park and through the rest of the CRA up through Pace Road, and ultimately to I-4, creating connectivity.
Continue imagining a minute with me about the interconnected yet diversified industries of research and development, agri-technologies, logistics and distribution, supply chain management, the sports industry cluster, businesses and life sciences, all working together to create a sustainable economic development life right here in this CRA. Now, when I talk about this CRA, we're talking about 3,000 acres. This 260 acres is just a small part, okay? But it is the initial catalyst to make things happen. You wait and see.
We're working on what the mixed-use plan would be. We believe that a mixed-use live, work, play, and stay concept might really work well in this area.
Imagine innovative companies and a Polytech University at your back door. Imagine going home with recreation and open space opportunities just down the street, shopping close by, spending more time with family versus time in traffic, commuting miles to and from work. That's the vision right here in this 3,000-acre Polk Commerce Center CRA. The Knapp family recognized that vision and the opportunities.
The way I see the CRA's vision, in my development experience, almost every development opportunity that I've had in my development past, we've had to create the dream. We've had to create the amenity package. We've had to create the infrastructure, the road networks, the entry features, all of the things that we've built for our development and design. In this case, if you look at the big picture, the county has made more than a significant investment in widening Berkeley Road. A couple of $100 million is my understanding that they've spent in that area. Lake Myrtle Sports Park has been built. Lake Myrtle Sports Park rivals sports parks in cities of the likes of Orlando, Tampa, Miami, and you look at communities all over our country, much larger than Auburndale and Polk County that do not have anything like Lake Myrtle Sports Park. That was all here. So I think we can build on that dream and that goal and put users, both retail, residential, in place that complement and work well with the sports park, and the entire CRA. We've got an opportunity with the Polytechnic campus. I've visited the Raleigh-Durham area, the Research Triangle. I've visited Greenville, Spartanburg, those areas that have seen the vision with the Polytechnic campuses where they attract the best of the best of students, and working with STEM research programs. I think that's a great opportunity to bring in nationally or global companies that may want to locate in this region and play off of and utilize the fresh minds and education to build facilities that could touch all parts of the world. And we want to be ready for that. Auburndale has made it very clear that utilities are available. They're ready. We have water, we have sewer, we have all of the things needed, road networks, to make this become a reality. And with us being at the interchange, which is the interchange south of the Polytechnic campus, it just makes sense that these interchange areas will develop first. And we want to be prepared for that. We believe with the sports park, when you look at the activities that they're currently bringing in, like the Rustmat baseball tournament program, 315 plus college baseball teams, over 20,000 people converging on this area, the economic impact that that's creating for the county is wonderful.
So now, hopefully, y'all have the vision that we're working toward. Well, I want to make sure everybody understands the Knapp family group did get the vision, and they're making it happen.
Ultimately, the benefits are going to be felt outside the CRA because of the investment that got made within that CRA that created the foundation for good quality growth. That, to me, is key, the importance of the CRA. We wouldn't have gotten here individually, and I don't think you would have gotten anybody to take a step without that assistance on the front end. Somebody had to go first and share in a vision, and I do believe that all these properties that lie in the surrounding area, at some point in time, as Charlie Gray said at one of the meetings that we had talking about the spine road through the property, he was very instrumental in helping organize and put together what is now known as the University of Central Florida. People thought he was crazy back in the 60s. He told the story about getting people to invest and put money together to build this little university out there on the east side of Orlando, and today I think it's the second largest enrollment in the nation. Well, at the time, if you didn't have the vision and you didn't buy into the concept, it wouldn't happen. But the people that did make that investment and they made it happen, the point that he made and the point that I'm trying to make is we don't know if it's a year, we don't know if it's 5 years, we don't know if it's 15 years. But ultimately, with a Polytechnic campus, with a sports park like we've got, and the roadway networks, it will happen. We're going to make it happen. Without the CRA funds, it could be indefinite.